if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
So this is big news. You're willing to do a catchweight fight with
But a beating on Manny. I think Manny's a little too old. But I mean, he's a legend. He already did what he did, so I really don't see a reason for him to come back.
Worst case scenario, someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this.
During a live interview, Gervonta Davis used ugly language to confront Manny Pacquiao, saying he would knock him out. Manny has challenged Gervonta to a bout, saying they may square off if Davis advances to the 147-pound weight class. He also underlined that he is confident because of his experience, regardless of who Gervonta decides to fight.
You know, finally, Manny, Gervonta Davis, what do you think of him? What do you make of him as a fighter?
Gervonta Davis is a good fighter. I mean, good fighter, yeah.
Is there ever any possibility that you would go back in the ring and fight someone like a Tank Davis?
If he wants, then if he come up to 147, then we can fight.
He can't meet you at 140?
145 maybe.
So this is big news. You're willing to do a catchweight fight with Tank at 145?
145.
What happens? You have a lot of experience, but he's explosive. What would happen in that fight?
Oh, that's not a problem for me. I'm an experienced fighter, so.
Why Manny Pacquiao feels the need to resume fighting at age 46 was a question raised by Gervonta Davis. Instead of jeopardizing his health in the ring, he advised Pacquiao to think about retiring.
He been asking for this fight for a minute too. So he got it.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
That's a very eerie nod you have going.
Yeah, cause it's like he trying to make me out of a bad guy and try to make him like a saint. Like I'm cool with him believing in God, but we know for sure what you do. And you in clubs, you drinking and stuff like that, and gambling. That's against the rules, brother.
Do you feel yourself starting to dislike him now?
Yes, I'm starting to dislike him. Just off the fact that he's fake. It actually made me like want to go after him.
When compared to a younger, more formidable opponent like Gervonta Davis, many pundits and fans think Pacquiao's advanced age is a significant disadvantage. They contend that Pacquiao need to think about exhibition fights rather than a genuinely competitive match following Floyd Mayweather's strategy in his final years. While still enabling supporters to appreciate their presence in the sport, the goal is to preserve the heritage and well-being of senior athletes. Many people believe that the hazards involved in fighting seriously at 46, particularly against a knockout artist, are excessive.
Manny Pacquiao say he open to a potential Gervonta Tank Davis fight at 147 or potentially 145. Ain't nobody trying to see that shit, bro. Ain't nobody trying to see that shit, man. Like, I know Manny want to get these M's and take it back to the Philippines and shit. Get these M's and continue to live like a king. But bro, fight an exhibition. See if you can get a Mayweather exhibition or some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You and one Manuel Marquez do an exhibition or some shit, man. Get your money that way, bro. Because Tank Davis will destroy that man. I don't even want that on Tank Team Mind or Tank Mind at all, bro. We ain't want no Manny Pacquiao fight, bro. Trying to watch you fight no 44, 45-year-old motherfucker ain't been in the ring in 2-3 years, bro. We all know the outcome of that, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.
Manny Pacquiao voiced doubt when asked about Gervonta Davis's quickness. He made a negative comparison between Davis and Naoya Inoue, a fighter known for his speed and technical prowess. Pacquiao thinks Inoue is faster than Davis, implying that Davis isn't the division's fastest opponent. Instead of depending only on speed as a determining factor, Pacquiao's evaluation of the difficulties he could encounter and his faith in his own experience and ring intelligence are highlighted by this comparison.
Gervonta Davis and Inoue?
If they were in the same weight class.
Inoue.
Why is that? Why doesn't Inoue beat Gervonta if they could have figured out a fight?
Inoue is fast.
Inoue is fast.
Inoue is fast.
Is Gervonta part of your plans down the future?
Remember, in boxing,
speed is the key.
Rising boxing sensation. Tim Tszyu has been outspoken about the possible challenges Pacquiao may have as a result of his advanced age. Mario Barrios, Pacquiao's opponent at 46, is in his physical prime, young, energetic, and ravenous. Even seasoned veterans can be overwhelmed by Barrios's strength and endurance, according to Tszyu. He cautions that the age difference may end up being the deciding factor, making Pacquiao susceptible to harm that younger competitors are better prepared to deliver.
It's a tough challenge, but what do you make of it? If you're I'm telling you to go into your pundit role now, like how do you see it?
I can't see Manny winning. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
No, I can't see. I think age is a big factor, you know, even though he's my favorite fighter and stuff like that. Mario Barrios is a beast, 30 years young, in the prime, going from a world title, you know, it's a hard challenge for Manny.
If he were to do it, would it surprise you?
No, it wouldn't surprise me, that's the thing, because he's Manny Pacquiao, you know, he's full of surprises.
Yeah. You know, finally, looking at your division at 154 pounds, how do you, I know what you're going to tell me. I'm only focused on Fundura right now, but how do you see like this year with the landscape at 54 going the way it is?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think we've got plenty of fighters, plenty of fights to be made.
Given that he is 46 years old, the boxing industry has expressed serious reservations over Manny Pacquiao's choice to make a comeback after a 5-year hiatus. Boxing has harsh physical requirements, and performance and recuperation are greatly impacted by age. Experts caution that there is no margin for mistake in the sport's brutality, especially for fighters who have been gone for long stretches of time. When older boxers try to make a return, it frequently leads to severe and sometimes permanent injuries. Due to increased attention and the focus on Pacquiao's health, many people are advising care before he returns to the ring.
Because what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary.
Yeah.
Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and dare I say disappointed.
Hatton has publicly voiced grave ethical reservations about approving bouts in which elderly fighters make late career comebacks. Hatton made comparisons to Mike Tyson's final fights and asked if it is fair to the sport to let superstars compete in spite of their obvious physical deterioration. Promoting such bouts, in his opinion, might jeopardize the combatants and damage boxing's reputation. Hatton's criticism calls on boxing authorities to carefully consider the moral ramifications of sanctioning fights in which there are obvious differences in age and physical condition.
4 years he's fighting for the WBC welterweight title. That's July the 19th in Vegas, ironically. What did you make of that news when you heard it?
Well, it's boxing today, innit? To be honest with you, boxing's, you know, if you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson box a Jake Paul, then, you know, Manny Pacquiao going back at 46 doesn't look too bad, does it? But Manny's coming back though. You know, Tyson was coming back fighting Jake Paul. Manny's come back fighting for a world title. But, and I say this with love, you know, how has Manny got his world title shot? He's been retired 6 years. He can't. He's got that on a previous successes, hasn't he? You know, to walk straight after being retired so many years ago, straight into a world title fight. How is that allowed possible? What happened? Surely he must have been dropped out of the rankings when he retired. All of a sudden he decided to make a comeback. They put him straight in at #1 contender. I think only boxing can answer that.
I think he's. Did you say 5th, Joe? He's been already placed 5th in the world ranking.
5th in the world. How can he be placed back in the top 10?
Comeback fight of
Yeah, you know, when you've been retired years and, you know, currently on your previous, he was a hell of a fighter a few years back, but we don't know what he's going to be like today. So, you know, you like to think he'd have a couple of warm-up fights so we can say, yeah, and then get him in. But boxing these days, I think the money's everything in it.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see me getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. You know, I'd had one or two. You know, I wasn't a master of defense like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one in sometimes. You know. And
Mario Barrios has pointed out some intriguing physical similarities between Gervonta Davis and Manny Pacquiao, especially in terms of height. According to Barrios, Pacquiao's wealth of experience dealing with quick, strong opponents like Davis may prove to be really helpful. This revelation suggests that Pacquiao may be able to adjust to the difficulties presented by younger fighters with similar physical characteristics, thanks to his experience in the ring and tactical knowledge, which could give him an edge when it comes to managing speed and power dynamics.
All right, guys, last question, guys. The tank fight that you learned with the slick, fast southpaw with lightning fast hands. What do you think you can take from your experience with Tank and apply it to Manny?
I think I could take a lot from that fight, actually, man. You know, like the way Tank, you know, you use the way he closes his distance. You know, the way, you know, like he worked off his speed. You know, similar size. I think Pacquiao might be a couple inches taller. But yeah, man. So like again, all those fights, you know, they're like prepared me for this moment. You know, I got me ready for this fight, and yeah, just going back, you know, taking what I can, you know, from those fights as I always have, and then, you know, just work on everything in the gym.
Is there any similarities from watching Manny and experiencing Gervonta in the ring? Do you think there's any similarities at all that you can pick away or point out?
I think there's a lot of similarities. You know, they're both small lefties. They're both, you know, both have, you know, great feet, great hand speed, and like I said, you know, that fight, you know, with Tank, I'm gonna, you know, do what I can, you know, to like take as much, you know, as I can, you know, from that fight, and, you know, just prepare for this one.
That concludes the video for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more boxing news and updates.